If you need unlimited domination, clutch time, or anything else online or offline grinding, make sure you hit up RoseNBA on Twitter for quick, safe, and reliable grinding services. Yo, what is good, YouTube, and welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the best limited lineup that you can build for week 3 of season 1 in NBA 2K23 MyTEAM. I haven't made a best limited lineup video yet this year, but that is going to change. I'm going to be making these pretty much weekly throughout the year to help y'all make the best limited lineup so you can easily get your ring each and every week. I got both my rings so far. As y'all can see, the prizes are worth getting this year. This week, you get a diamond prize ball. Next week, it's 100 tokens, 25 KMT, and then the limited option pack at the end of the season, which is super nice. And the fact of the matter is, the fact that you get all of these limited rewards this year for getting each of your rings, and you don't just get one limited reward for at the end of the season for however many limited rings you get, makes limited a much more worthwhile mode to grind. So for me, I am grinding limited this year, getting my rewards each and every week, and I recommend that you do the same. But the actual limited conditions this week are you have to use 5 graded cards in your lineup. That is easy. It doesn't really matter who those cards are, but the key is that you can only use 1 diamond, 1 amethyst, and then ruby and lower on everybody else on your team. So that's important to remember. The graded card part doesn't really matter. You can just have 5 graded cards off your bench if you need to do that. But what really matters is how you're going to use that diamond, how you're going to use that amethyst, and then which rubies you use to surround that diamond and that amethyst to give yourself the best chance of continued and consistent success in limited. So let's hop over to 2KDB and let's build this lineup and talk about why I think it's the best limited lineup for this week. All right, so we have 2KDB pulled up right here, and we're going to start off at the point guard position. The point guard position is where we're going to use our diamond, and that is going to be Diamond Donovan Mitchell, who I think is at least arguably the best point guard in my team right now. This card is absolutely elite. He's got 3 Hall of Fame badges, 16 gold badges, 16 silver badges, 6'1" with a 6'10" wingspan. Not elite height, but really good wingspan. And then defensive stats are amazing. 90 lateral, 88 perimeter, 79 interior, 80 block even is really, really good, and 88 steal is amazing. 93 speed and excel is phenomenal. 89 shot threes, a 90 driving dunk. And the other thing is he can get basically all the key badges that you want. You can add limitless range to him. You can add unpluckable to him. You can add clamps, brick wall, ankle braces, badges like that. And he's really, really nice in that area. Also an elite slasher. Half quick for step is really good. Has gold handles for days already. But a lot of his other badges that are on silver and bronze can be upgraded to gold. He is just a really, really good all-around card. Also comes with the Donovan Mitchell release, which is a really good release. Ja Morant dribble style is good. He's got a nice size-up escape. The Donovan Mitchell signature size-up is really good. And then the Damian Lillard behind the back is also really, really good. So he's got good sigs, a smooth release, is an elite slasher, a really solid defender. Just overall, maybe the best point guard in the game, and I think he's the perfect diamond to throw in here at the point guard position to start off your team. At the 2, I decided to go with Ruby Michael Jordan. You got a couple options here for a Ruby shooting guard, but I think Michael Jordan is probably the best one available. I know he only has a 63-pointer, but trust me, he doesn't shoot like it. If you can shoot consistently, you'll be able to shoot consistently with this MJ. 84 speed and excel is really good. He's a really solid perimeter defender. 95 vertical is amazing. Great slasher as well with really good dunk animations, and overall, a lot of good silver and bronze badges as well, which is super nice and gives him a lot of value across the board in all these different areas, which is really, really nice. Also can add quick for step to him if you wanted to. I wouldn't recommend doing that personally, but you can. And then the MJ release is good this year. MJ dribble style, maybe the best dribble style in the game. Lillard behind the back, again, very, very good behind the back. I think MJ is a very, very solid card. This Ruby MJ is amazing. Obviously not going to be on the level of the new pink diamond or even the diamond or things like that, but for a Ruby, I think he's very solid to shooting guard. And trust me, he shoots way better than that 63-pointer would make you think. At the 3, we're going with another defensive guy who can also shoot the 3, and that's going to be Kawhi Leonard. This is another free Ruby. You can get him from the token market. He's really, really solid. 79 speed isn't amazing, but 81 shot 3 is really solid. 80 driving dunk is really solid. And then he's a really, really good perimeter defender with a 74 interior, which also is not bad. Another guy who's kind of limited on the badge front, bronze bully, few good shooting badges, and then some solid silver badges like challenger, clamps, glove, interceptor, and pick dodger, as well as gold menace and silver ankle braces. Overall, though, he's a guy who's going to catch and shoot, has a smooth release, and is a good defender. And that is enough for me to make him a very, very solid budget 3-and-D card and the perfect shooting guard for this, or sorry, small forward for this type of team as another Ruby. At the power forward position, we're going with our other Ruby, which means our center is going to be our amethyst, and we'll get into that in just a second. And the Ruby that we're going to use at the power forward position is Tony Kukuchu. You get from like level 20 something, I think. He's not very hard to get though. If you've been grinding XP at all this season, you definitely have this card by now in your collection. 6'10" with a 7'2" wingspan. 75 speed and excel is not great. His defense is kind of average at best, 77, 79 39, things like that. Not amazing defensive stats or anything, and a 78 shot three. Like, his stats don't jump off the page at you amazingly, but he is a solid shooter and has a smooth release and a fast release. His release is really, really solid, and that is enough for me, especially because he's not horribly slow. He's not a horrible defender. He's just an acceptable all-around card, and there aren't very many good power forward options, to be completely honest, in this game. And he's a guy who can knock down a three with a smooth, fast release and play at least a little bit of defense, and also has good size at 6'10". He's just a solid card, and he'll get the job done. A guy I've used, I think, in all 3 limited weeks so far, actually, and that is continuing this week with him being our starting power forward. And then the starting center is going to be Pau Gasol, who I do think is the best amethyst big man in the game by a decent margin, honestly. He's a very, very solid card. Doesn't have elite speed, but he doesn't have speed in like the 40s like some of these other centers do. 81 shot three is very, very solid, and a 70 driving dunk, and he's got 88 interior, 84 block. Overall, just a guy who can shoot the three-pointer, defend on the interior. Half post spontaneous is super nice. He's a solid rebounder with silver rebound chaser, gold box out beast, gold brick wall, silver anchor. So he can defend on the interior, he rebounds, and he can knock down his open shots at a consistent level with a smooth release, albeit a little bit slow, but it is very smooth and very, very consistent to green. So gives you 5 guys on the court who are all capable of shooting the three-pointer. You got a primary ball handler in Donovan, 2 guys who are really good defenders and can knock down the open three, and MJ and Kawhi, another guy who's got good size, can knock down the three and play a little bit of defense in Kukuchu and Pau Gasol, who's going to be that great interior big, get your rebounds, knock down more shots, and then be dominant in the post on both ends. I like this starting lineup a lot and think this starting lineup is really going to win you the vast majority of your games if you got to line up something like this. And also, the thing to remember is 4 of these 5 cards are free cards, and Pau Gasol's like 10 KMT. Like, this team is incredibly cheap to build as well. It's not an expensive limited lineup for you to build in my team. But I will spend a little bit of time talking about some Ruby options that you can use off the bench as well. I may not even play a bench, to be completely honest. I might throw some Rubies in there, but they may not even play. Like, my starters will probably play most of the game, and you'll probably get through games pretty quickly most of the time if you take a bit of a lead. People quit generally pretty often, but there are some guys you can still use off the bench that I do think are pretty solid options. This new Otis Bird song is not bad. 73 pointer is a bit low, but he's got really good speed, and he's a solid perimeter defender, which is nice. He's a guy you could consider using off the bench if you want another guard. He is 6'3" at the point guard position as well, so he is not a bad option at all. TJ Warren release also isn't bad. Another guy that you could consider using would be Del Curry, a guy who's a knockdown shooter, not going to give you a ton else on the court, but a really good release and a knockdown shooter if you want to have a backup too. Lawson is probably the backup point guard that I run personally. I know he's not much of a defender whatsoever, but he has gold quick first step. He's got silver handles for days, can shoot the three-pointer at a solid level. Not going to be able to dunk, but a guy who's got good speed and a good release and is going to be able to create a little bit of shot as a backup point guard. That's probably who I would personally go with. And then you could go with a center like Roy Hibbert. Obviously, he's crazy slow, but he is very tall at 7'2" and is going to be an amazing interior guy on both ends in terms of rebounding and mashing and things like that. If you want to go with another big man off the bench, Roy Hibbert's the type of guy that I would go with there. Outside of that, I mean, maybe starter card Jimmy Butler fully evoed, or starter card Ja Morant fully evoed. There are a couple options. You could even go with a guy like Sapphire Rudy Gay, Sapphire Kelly Tripucka, guys like that. But I would say overall, your best bet is going to be focusing on your starting lineup and running guys like this, because I think these guys are going to give you a lot of success in my team and play really, really solid defense, win you a ton of games, and all 5 guys can knock down shots as well. So in my opinion, this is the best limited lineup that you can build, and then you can kind of fill in your bench with whatever you want as long as you have those 5 graded cards in your lineup, and maybe you can throw in some other Rubies or Sapphires or whatever off the bench if you want to be able to make some substitutions as well. But this is the team I'll be running this week, and it's a team that I recommend you all run as well. So hopefully y'all did enjoy the video. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'll be back with more 2K content very, very soon, and I appreciate y'all. Peace.